Good morning, everyone. This is Srikanth Rajan, and welcome back to the Stock Market Podcast from MPIinvest.com. Well, coming to the market yesterday, should I talk about the market yesterday or Axis Bank loss? Good things first. So let's talk about the market. Well, the first thing yesterday in the morning podcast, I had told you clearly if if 17,870 was broken on the higher side, then we are definitely going to see a positive day. And that's exactly what happened. Market was really bullish, and we could see the Nifty actually finally closing about 17,900, and that was a big rally that we saw yesterday. Majorly, the power came in from the IT sector. So yesterday, the top gainer for the day, of course, was Infosys doing really well. Finally, from the consolidation, it is kind of picking up now. So it was more of a short covering rally that we saw, and after that, of course, followed by L&T, Reliance. If you look at the top performing companies yesterday, I think most of the stocks are something that is there in our MPI Invest portfolio. Well, that's amazing. In fact, I'm sure all of our portfolios must be looking really good today. So definitely that was because of the amazing rally that happened majorly in the large cap yesterday. So that was something really good. Even though it was an expiry, it was a trending day and the market went up. And in fact, I would like to say this month, after again a lot of weeks, this week that we closed yesterday was an amazing week where we again got more than 1% profit. And if you look at this month, I think I have my personal return on derivative trading is about 3.5%, and my personal portfolio has also gone up really well. So that is something really good. And I'm sure all those members who have actually invested in the recent days, when we have been speaking about the market, will go up, and when there are so many people around telling about bad news about the market, that is when we actually went on a buying spree. And I am sure all those MPA family members who have actually bought during that period are sitting now with good profit. So that is how the market is. That is why I have so much confidence on the market. So, markets are here only for people who are consistent. Markets can make you money only if you are consistent. If you are a person who takes time to value your investment, that is when market can help you make money. Simple as that. So that was about the market yesterday. Of course, one thing I was really happy that Infosys has actually started recovering, and we have been on a SIP mode of investment into Infosys also last week. I have announced that in the podcast as well. So if you have still missed it, I would say still you have not missed the opportunity. You can still go on a SIP mode. It is still a good time to invest. Well, again, I am not telling you specific to Infosys, but I am telling in market, this is a great time to invest. Though you should remember that I am not a SEBI registered analyst, but I am sharing what I am doing, and that is for your information. So that was about the first part of the market. Apart from that being a expiry day, the volatility was of course huge. Market was like, you should look at each of those candles: a green candle followed by a red candle followed by a bigger green candle. But finally, overall, it was a trending day on the positive side. And this week has actually turned out the way we had actually expected. So on the Market Pulse program last Sunday, I had clearly told that I am expecting the market to be consolidating with a positive bias. And that's exactly what happened. It was not a huge rally as such. It was, of course, a small movement upwards every day. And overall, the market has actually crossed above 17,900. That's a great sign. Now, what next? So after Indian markets closed, there were several results that came. So there was the Pro results that came, Tech Mahindra came, and also Axis Bank came with results. So let me start off, of course, by addressing the elephant in the room, that is Axis Bank. So Axis Bank, if you look at most of the media news, the first line you might see is Axis Bank losses at more than 5,000 crores. Now that would actually put any investor into double mind, thinking what's happening, is something wrong with Axis? But I would say definitely nothing is wrong with Axis. You know why? If not for that purchase of Citibank, I would say Axis is with an amazing profit. Yes. So if you remember, this quarter is when Axis had finalized the deal with Citibank, and their entire operations were taken care of for India. And during this purchase, there was a huge amount of money that has gone in. In fact, if you just remove that Citibank purchase, Axis Bank would be sitting with almost 6,000 crores of profit, which was much better than this quarter last year, which is about 4,000 crores. So profit-wise, Axis Bank still is strong, really strong. But it all depends on how the market is going to analyze it. Of course, people who have some experience in the market will take this positive and may start buying Axis. But people who are newbies, who are not aware of what's happening in the market, might actually think of selling, or that is something that we can expect. So with all this, we can, what will happen is the Axis, if at all I see a dip in the market, I would be looking at it as an opportunity to add more to the stock, right? So that is something which is important. Now, apart from that, what happens is, if you look at, so Axis Bank results were good, I would say that is my take. So again, whatever happens today may not be taken into consensus, but if any fall happens, I would be going on a SIP mode of buying again into Axis. So apart from that, if you look at Wipro and Tech Mahindra result, they were expected to be bad. In fact, Wipro also gave out not surprise. I mean, last 2 days they've been talking about it. Almost a 12,000 crore share buyback is something that they have announced. Now, this looks like more like, generally companies, when they don't see huge growth upwards, and especially once the companies become too big, they don't see like very big growth every year. It is a decent growth every year. So then what they do is they use the surplus cash to buy back, because that is the only way they can actually keep the investor interest, because 12,000 crores is going to flow into the stock again. A lot of people, the buying is going to come in. So naturally the prices can go up. So if of late, Wipro has been kind of beaten down heavily, and in this condition, it is a good thing to actually buy. But do I see an extraordinary growth in Wipro or not right now? Of course, decent growth is there, and they would continue to grow decently because it's a fundamentally strong company. Nothing wrong about it, but nothing so exciting about it as well to be invested in. So I had some investment in Wipro, which I had booked some losses earlier. But it was not because the stock was bad, but I did not want to wait. So it was a partial loss I booked, and I moved that fund to something else, and that has already grown better than what Wipro would have grown to. So many a times, like I always say, what I say is, if you go to Mumbai, you have this fast local and this normal slow local. So what people do is, if the people want to go on a far distance, what they do is, and if there's at a station where only the slow local stops, what they would do is they would take a slow local, go to the next station, a major station where the fast local will stop, and then hop on to the fast local so that the destination can be reached faster. So similarly, in the stock market, if you have a stock which is of course bound to do well, but it will take a longer period of time. But if I see an opportunity in another stock which can go faster, I would prefer to exit the first one at a small loss also, and move that fund to the second one, which might give me a faster growth. So this is something which I did with Wipro, and I'm really happy. So that is what the market is all about. So it's all about strategizing, managing your fund, knowing when to book a loss and when to book a profit. These are few things that every investor should know in the stock market. And that's exactly where we as MPA family guide you and support you as a community. And if you want to be a part of this community, all you need to do is just go down to this scroll here, select, click on that number, and definitely be a part of this community completely free of cost. So that was about, okay, I did some marketing there for MPI, but of course, let's come back to the market. Now, coming to the market again, so Wipro results I spoke about. Now, let's talk about Tech Mahindra results also were down exactly as expected. So nothing wrong about it. So again, there was no positive news about it, but I would say now that the results have come bad, it is actually, if you want to enter, again, a decent return in next 1 year, this can be a good stock, is what I feel. So that is something which I see there about Tech Mahindra. But apart from that, if you look at today, okay, before that, what happened after Indian markets closed? So after Indian markets closed, the US markets opened naturally with a gap up. We had seen that Facebook came out with good results, better than expected. So naturally, Facebook was up. So in the pre-market, Facebook was up by almost 10-11%. But as soon as the market opened, offline market also, once the market opened, the market actually saw another rally. So we could see Facebook up, that is Meta, up by almost 14% in the day. In fact, something interesting, my personal investment in Meta, I have already spoken about this earlier. If I tell you, it is, I think, close to around 100% yesterday. I just vaguely remember, let me have a look at it right away and tell you live. So Yes, I had done some good investment when Meta had fallen to its all-time low in the US market directly, and naturally it was bound to give good results. So I am seeing that okay, yeah. So yesterday it was up by 13.93% in my personal portfolio. Same, I mean, with the market, but then my personal portfolio as on today, the total gains in Meta stands at 96.81%. Isn't that amazing? Not only that, even my Nvidia stands at 106.04% profit there. And another few stocks, I mean, I'm sure. I have also have Microsoft, which is at 22%. And talking about bigger profit, I would say Apple is at 16% close to. So these are how my portfolio is performed in the US market. So it is always good to kind of diversify a small portion of your investment. Diversify investment always, and that investment going into a US market, which is the leading country, is of course a good idea. And when US markets fell to its 52 weeks low, that is when I decided to invest in the US market, and that has given amazing returns for this. In last 6 months, I would say, not a big time as well, right? In last 6 months, I just invested in about 6 months back. So now again, if you're wondering how to start investing in the US market, again, come back to our community. We help you with the investments. All you need to do is open an account through us, and we guide you with complete, assistance. So after that, moving on to the next part. So US markets have actually gone to really positive. Yesterday, most of tech stocks did well, and naturally we could see Dow and Nasdaq up by more than 2%, and market was really good. So apart from that, the US GDP data also came in, which actually came in at 1.1%, which is less than expectation. But then you need to understand this was inflation adjusted GDP, which means it is still good. Because if you look at US has always seen a inflation of around 1 to 2%, whereas right now it is close to 5%, which is almost more than 2 times of its regular, and still GDP has grown by 1.1%. And adjusting that 5% inflation to it, I would say it's a good thing. So overall, all these good things together has given a lot of positivity to US market. And naturally, when US markets are high, you don't have to talk about Asian markets, and Asian markets are also rallying up. So that's something that's happening right now. Now, the important question is what will happen in the Indian market. So as I look at SGX Nifty right now, SGX Nifty is already trading higher, which is indicating a gap up. Now, the gap up is expected to be anything between 60 to 100 points. Now 60 to 100 points gap up means we are going to open a market could see opening close to 18,000. Now remember 18,000 is a very big resistance. Now if 18,000 at a close, and one thing let me tell you, I've already told you earlier, whenever there's a huge gap up or a gap down, there are huge chances of the short covering or so that is something which can actually drive the market. So if at all we see a huge gap up today, there are high chances that it may not sustain. Now, if that happens, there are more chances of that happening today because today is a weekend, and many people, won't prefer carrying forward the trade for next 2 days. So, if that is the case, even if there's a rally today, it may not sustain till end of day, and we might see some sell off by end of day. So, this is my expectation because we are close to this next important resistance of 18,000. But of course, 80,000 is not a major resistance as compared to 17,800 to 850, which I used to talk about. So it is an easier task for Nifty, is what I would say. Now, if you see majorly, the focus would be again on the FIS. Are the FIS going to be on the buying side today also? But like I told you, over the weekend, a lot of traders also would look at booking profit. So with all that, markets are going to be kind of jittery. And already with such a big rally, there are chances of the market kind of consolidating today, and probably with a slightly negative bias by end of the day. So this is the expectation for today. Again, we've got 2 days holidays, Saturday, Sunday, so we should be back on Monday. But we will discuss in detail about what happened this week and what are the expectations next week in the Market Pulse program on Sunday at 7 p.m. But before that, do remember, most of the results have now come. So this time, if you see, Bajaj Finance results were good. SDFC results, ICICI results, even the life insurance companies have fared well in terms of premium collections. So overall, it was a good month and good results except for the IT sector. But if you have noticed it keenly, IT sector also the major problems were with the large caps like Infosys, Tech Mahindra. But Coforge or Persistent, the mid caps and the small caps have actually performed well. And in fact, stocks like Cyient and Persistent Systems and all have actually done well. So they are expected to grow better. So if you see IT sector, especially the large cap was not doing well, but it is a good time to enter large caps like TCS, Infosys, because these are HCL Tech also, right? So these are all a few stocks of my favorites where I've invested well. So that is something that can actually give out some good returns over the period of time. So that is something for if you're looking to manage your portfolio yourself. But otherwise, we've got amazing mutual funds and managed portfolios that can do it for you with good returns over a period of time as well. So that's it for now. So I would say that now the only major result which is actually expected is SBI, which will take some more time because that is one generally that gives a lot of power to the market. But overall, if you see, SBI also has been on a uptrend last few days. So that of course explains because most of the banking sector has done well. Most of the POC banks also, which has come out with results till now, has done well. So people are expecting SBI also to do well. But overall, I would say as a result season, except IT, most of the other sectors have done really well. L&T is doing really well. So overall, this result season has given a positive sentiment to the market. And today is the last trading day of April also. So one more thing that we could expect is April was a good month with entire month being bullish. So now next looking at May, we will have to plan how things are and what are the expectations for May. So Karnataka elections are around the corner, so there will be some volatility induced by that. And there are high chances that the results of Karnataka elections could actually trigger some more market views. Now, I'm not talking political here, but let me tell you, any country with a stable government is always a positive for the investors. So, Indian government now, if you see the existing government, if at all there are hints that existing governments can continue for the next term as well, that can be a positive news for the market. Now, I know it's pretty little long today, but then I had to discuss this. So, what can happen is if Karnataka elections kind of keeps the BJP on top, there are chances that gives a confidence to the market generally that there are chances that the center also can be held on by the existing government. I am not a pro BJP or a pro Congress or any other parties, but I am just telling you this as a stock market point of view. So if that happens, that could trigger some positivity to the market. So don't be surprised if market again touches the all-time high. But if it happens otherwise, the markets can again go into jittery mode. So these are few things which are going to be a short-term, things to be noted. But apart from that, markets are looking really good. I am really happy about it. And now it is, of course, time to start partially booking profit as well. Because, of course, some stocks have done really well, good returns. So all those things is what I will be sharing in the community. So that's it for now. It was pretty long, I think one of the longest of this week. But then I had to share this. I'm sure all of you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, you can of course post it in the comment section. I'll be answering in the next podcast. And of course, if any of you are live, you can also post your questions here. So that's it for now. This is Srikanth. I'm signing off. But before we leave, do remember to press the like button if you love the content that we share, and do share the podcast with your friends and relatives to help them learn and invest together with us. And if you've still not subscribed to our channel, it is time you subscribe so that you don't miss out on any of the updates, and let us grow financially together. Goodbye. Have a great day and a great weekend.